if you're really interested in a specific part of it, or you see one that jumps out at you, there are tons. One that's really popular at the moment is forensic psychology, which is super cool. And another one that's really popular is criminology. Both of the words, before you even find out what they mean, sound amazing. I don't really think there's anyone who'll say criminology sounds boring, right? Criminology sounds fascinating, and they are, and so is forensic psychology. So the difference between the two, a forensic psychologist is someone who helps rehabilitate young offenders, goes to prisons and talks to people who have violated the law and helps people get back on track. Also looks at why people do certain things regarding crime and regarding the law. So that's the kind of where the term forensic comes from. A lot of people get this wrong and confuse it with, scanning fingerprints and doing stuff like that. It's more about why people do certain things. And criminology is very similar, but goes way more into crime and violence itself. So rather than just looking at rehabilitating people who've caused crime, it's also about going into police stations, for example. So some criminologists work with police to understand what the highest crime rates are, why those crimes are being caused, and how they can be stopped. So it's really cool. It's a very TV show thing that you wouldn't really expect to be a real degree, but it's a real degree, which is why I think that's super fascinating. To go on to like a whole nother depth, child and development studies is a branch of psychology. Educational psychology, some degrees offer studies, or if you do normal psychology, there will always be 10,000 different explanations for one thing. So for example, why does someone commit a crime? There's always a cognitive explanation. So that's to do with how our brain works as a computer. Yeah. So for example, this happens, the person sees it in a certain way and it causes them to commit a crime. Then there's like, for example, the neuroscience view. So physical things happening in our brain. So maybe you see something and the chemical activity changes in your brain and it causes you to do something. And so you can see that those are two different explanations of why we would do a behavior. For example, why you would steal something from a place. And there are, like I said, thousands more explanations. And that's what's given to you, regardless of which degree. So I think that if you're specifically interested in one subject, one topic, go into that topic. There's no harm in jumping into that topic. If you're not sure, then the very general door of just psychology can open into those things later on.